Some advice that I would give to people would probably be, you just gotta do it. You just gotta decide to not buy fast fashion anymore and really think about like the time and energy that you put into a clothing item to either repair it, tailor it, mend it, whatever it is. It really adds a sort of personal touch and value to the work, as well as like individualized, because there's never going to be another piece of clothing that looks exactly like the thing you have made or the thing that you have mended. My advice is just do it. How I got started making sustainable clothing genuinely started because I don't have a lot of money. And a lot of times the fashion that you see in stores is made with inexpensive materials, made pretty badly, does not stand the test of time, and it's just hella expensive for no good reason with all those other factors in mind. So I started thrifting, I started finding those things. I also do a lot of mending. That's what most of my clothing ends up being, or that's what happens to most of my clothing is I get it, I wear it until something breaks, I mend it, I continue to mend it as things deteriorate. So my costume making process with like found and thrifted materials, I don't like buying new things. I tend to try to not buy new materials if I'm able to. I tend to go on Facebook Marketplace to get like embroidery threads or sewing threads, fabrics, elastics. When I'm making bigger costumes that need like foam and stuff like that, I also try to thrift or find as much of that as I can. I don't like paying store prices because everything is kind of outrageous, and I'd rather hunt and gather versus just buying something out of the store. For the common man to be able to do sustainable fashion, making their own clothes, that sort of thing, really it's a time suck. Like, it does not take a lot of skill, I don't think, says me who makes things, but it really doesn't take all that much skill to be able to mend your items. It just takes a lot of time, especially if you're doing more like visible mending and things of that nature. Like this took me a couple hours, but it's just like one little tiny portion of a sleeve. But it's not hard, I would say. I'm most proud of my Ren Fair costume so far because I truly started from scratch with that one. I don't have a lot of patterning skills in the sense of form fitting myself or anybody else. With these tie pants, it's just sort of 4 pieces of panel, you put them on, they can fit anybody. But with my Ren Fair costume, it's actually a bust binding corset, so it needed to fit my measurements exactly or it would not have worked at all. One good way for people to, also become more sustainable in their fashion is just not buying fast fashion. If we continually buy fast fashion, they're going to make more fast fashion, and it's just like a perpetual cycle that's never going to end. One thing that I think people could do is really hammer in on mending their own clothes. We are really, as like a society and as a fashion industry, throw away a lot of things that can be easily fixed. Like you get a little hole in it, oh, it goes in the trash and you buy a new one. Oh, the sleeve has a stain on it, in the trash. We really need to get better about not throwing away as much as we do. And I think that would actually really help in the way of sustainable fashion.